Hello, and this is Big Bambot, and today I will be reviewing Pac-Man World for the Sony PlayStation. Now, this game was released in 1999 to celebrate Pac-Man's 20th anniversary. It even says on the box, 20th anniversary Pac-Man World. The game received positive reviews, and it was successful. Surely it's not that well remembered today, but hey, it's still here. People still remember it. Even though it's not as well remembered as the previous games, but whatever. So, one thing I like to mention is that this front thing on the box was annoying me. So do you want to know what I did? I sellotaped it. Yeah, I did it on 4 sides to make a square. Yeah, but that was my choice. So, anyway, other than that, let's play the game. The story is that it's Pac-Man's 20th birthday, but there's a problem with his birthday, and do you want to know what it is? His friends and family are being captured, and who are they being captured by? Why, it's the evil ghost! Who the beep else could it be? Ha ha. It turns out that there's this young ghost called Orson who created an evil robot called Talkman, who's just like a giant Robo Pac-Man, but he is not a very happy evil robot. Just look at the Talkman.
No, you idiots! I wanted gold streamers and red balloons! The DJ stinks, the banners are crooked, and the cake should be chocolate! You're gonna ruin my party!
She makes Game Dude's life look absolutely perfect! I mean, he's so angry! And when Pac-Man finds out about this, he's like... And then Pac-Man rushes off to save the day. Meh, the story could be better. But anyway, video games are made for the gameplay, not the story, you stupid people. And what is the gameplay like? It's great! In this game, there are 6 worlds. The pirate world, even though it starts off in a beach, but later on it becomes a pirate world. The caves, oh my god, I absolutely packing hate the caves. Pack the caves, they suck. A pretty packing weird fun house. A pretty strange factory, although it does have some pretty packing cool music. And last and not packing least, Talkman's big and graveyard-like packing mansion of doom and tricky platforming. Man, Talkman definitely has an evil mansion. The goal of the game is pretty simple. All you have to do is get from point A to point B. So yeah, this game is pretty packing simple. But there are a few things that you can get along the way. Pac-Man's health is represented by his mouth. If he gets hit 4 times, he dies. Pretty packing simple, just like that. But don't worry, you can collect diamonds to restore Pac-Man's health, but they only come in 1, sadly. Pac-Man can collect fruit along the way. You can use the fruit to open doors, which is pretty helpful, I must say. Yeah, let's eat those ghosts! Thank you, Cherry Door. Without the cherry, I would have never done that. If you collect enough fruit, you could get quite a few extra lives. And after getting those extra lives, you could do a slot machine. And I absolutely suck at it. I just smashed the circle button hoping that I get something. I very rarely get 3 in a row. Just watch me fail. Well, I was unlucky this time, but next time, I'll be superior! You got your pellets, as usual, and you can even shoot them! And if you got 10, or more, you can do a giant packing it. Oh! Let's try that again. You can do a giant packing explosion! Yeah, take that, Talk Man! The power pellets do exactly the same thing as they do in the original Pac-Man. Eat up ghosts! Eat their souls and murder them while you do it. Although you can't eat other enemies while using the power pellet, which is a shame, but whatever, I can live with it. There's also the metal power pellet, which turns you into... Well, that wasn't very long. Meh. I don't care. I actually care a pretty packing lot. There's also letters that spell Pac-Man, and if you collect packing all of them in a level, there's a bonus stage. Now there's a different bonus stage in each world, which is actually pretty cool. While there's not a different one for every level, which kind of sucks, there is a different one for every world, which is good enough. Now let's talk about the control. Just to let you know, every level except the first level has the Pac-Man letters. Wow, I guess the first level's a bit lonely without the Pac-Man letters. There's also Galaxians. If you get one and take it to its door, you can go to a maze. A classic Pac-Man maze, but with a few hazards and with 3D graphics! Every level has one bonus level, except for the first level, which has none. That's such a lonely level. Give some love to him! And the second cave level, which has 2 bonus levels. I hate the packing cave world! Don't worry, there's also extra lives. And checkpoints help you on the way. And by the way, they are extremely useful. There's also these things, but all I have to say is no packing comment. Each world has 3 levels and a boss fight. Kinda like in Sonic Advance 3. Except for the caves, which only had 2 levels and a boss, for good beeping reason! Now, since I'm too mean to tell you the controls, I'm going to show you the controls on the options menu. Those are the controls. By the way, I switched around shoot and rev. But those are the controls. I don't need to tell you anything else other than if you hold square, you can throw that giant explosion. Now let's talk about the graphics. The graphics, while they look good enough, they aren't the best. There's glitchy textures, and there are some problems with draw distance. A I mean, Crash Bandicoot Warped looks better than this game, and it came out a year before. So I'm just wondering, why doesn't Pac-Man World look this good? Well, Naughty Dog did hack the PS1, so I can kind of understand why Crash Bandicoot Warped looks better. But other than that, this game still does look good. The character models look fine, the textures look fine, the game runs smoothly, the game looks smooth, it just looks good. And the flaws I mentioned, they are very, very, very few and far between, so they won't annoy you at all. Now let's move on to the music. Now the music in this game is just great. While it's not as good as Crash Bandicoot Warp soundtrack, the music in this game is still really good, such as the music in the Space World. To the crazy carnival. By the way, I hate this packing level. Pack it to hell. But this is a good song. Pack. I even get a kick out of the menu music. By the way, that's me doing that. Now let's move on to the negative. 2 words. The caves! I packing despise the caves. And let me tell you why. Darkness? Check. Cheap enemy and trap placement that you can't see and you take a hit from? Check. Insta-kill lava? Check! Letters that are hard to find because of the dark, that you need the packing internet to find? Check! And do you want to know what the worst thing about this world is? It's the second world in the game. I hate the caves. And does it have a hard boss? Check. Check, 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 check. Pack, yes, this has a hard boss. In fact, it's the hardest boss in the game. No, really, I went from 14 lives down to 1 when fighting this boss. He's that hard and annoying. And you're about to see why. The first part contains you running away from Anubis Rex's hand. This part is annoying because there's spikes popping out of the ground which can cheaply hit you. I'm trying my hardest yet I still get hit by the cheapness of the spikes. And then you've got the doors which try to kill you. It's just annoying. But the second part, oh my god, the second part! But the third and fourth parts of the fight is annoying! You got a tornado chasing you, you got fireballs trying to hurt you. It's just insane. If you can beat this entire boss fight without getting hit once, you might as well change your name to Jesus. If he's that hard. Seriously, he's that packing hard. I also hate Spin Dizzy, the third level in Funhouse World. In fact, this is the only level that gave me a game over in this game. I'm not joking. It is the only level that got me a game over, and luckily it was only one game over, but it was still a game over, and I started off with like 12 lives. That's a lot of lives lost on one annoying level, but at least the music's quite good. Now, let's move on to the positives. But before we do that, let me tell you something. Anubis Rex is the hardest boss in the game, and he's the second boss in the game. The other bosses are nowhere near as hard as him. Surely King Galaxian is really hard, but he's still not as hard as Anubis Rex. And the other bosses are either challenging at the hardest or pathetic at easiest, which is the easiest boss is the first boss. He is just pathetic. Now we can move on to the positives. Like I mentioned before, the game looks very good for a PS1 game, even with his couple of hiccups, which aren't even that common. And like I mentioned before, the music is great. Listen to this song. The only thing that sucks about the soundtrack is that each song is pretty short. The bosses in this game are fun and challenging, other than from Anubis Rex. But the rest of the bosses are really fun and they can be quite challenging. King Galaxian is probably my favourite boss, despite being the second hardest. And the shooting stage before you get to him is quite fun, if not challenging. Another thing I like is that every level in each world is different from the last, and it's even got different music in each level. While the later levels still look similar to the levels that came before in the same world, the levels still have some differences, and they still have different music that's great. Just listen to this epic tune. I hope you get the picture by now. Overall, Pac-Man World for the PS1 is a great game. It has good graphics and good music. It controls okay, even though the platforming can be really finicky sometimes. And overall it's a good game. Now there are some problems. The main problem being the caves. The packing caves. And packing Anubis Rex in the same world. But overall this is still a good game. I give it a B+. While it's not as good as Crash Bandicoot Warped, this is still a really good game that you should definitely add to your PS1 collection. Although I do recommend this game more, but you know, Pac-Man World is still highly recommended by me. Now, I'd like to give a shout out for Super Aaron 98 for requesting this game. I hope you're happy that I ended up reviewing it. Now, I will review the other games in the series once I get them and beat them. And I hope you enjoyed. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. This is Big Bad Bot signing out. Oh, and by the way, my next review will be Sonic Lost World for the Wii U. I have beaten it, so don't expect to wait too long for me to review this game. Okay? Goodbye! Oh, and by the way, if you have any requests, please leave them in the comments below, okay?